What's happening, everybody? Welcome to Crunch Time mid-afternoon edition of. We've had some weird early ones. We've had some weird late ones, but mid-afternoon, I believe the cheese stands alone. This is unique. And speaking of the cheese, here he is. What's up, cheese?
Yeah, I mean, it's 2:45 for me. 3:45 Eastern, like 3:45. What kind of time is that for slate start?
No idea.
I feel like it's earlier than it is when we do like an 11 a.m. show because it's just so weird. I mean, I've already had lunch, of course, but I don't know what's happening.
You got to have a second lunch now because this just throws everything out of whack.
Yeah, because you can't just end this and go to dinner, but you can't end this and then not eat. So,
right. Yeah. Or as you would say, it throws everything into whack because whack is a state of disarray to begin with. So throwing things into whack.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Hey, we got TJ as well. He's throwing things into whack with, look at that, a cute puppy and a cute cat on command. Cat just jumps up just as soon as I said TJ. What up, TJ?
Doing pretty well. Shadow's doing pretty well too. And we're ready to talk some baseball. I got a fun day ahead of me for my podcast personally, talking to somebody from a Netflix reality show that I enjoy quite a bit. So that's going to be fun. But before that, ready to win some money on these two whack baseball slates we have.
Okay. Well, you can't just name drop.
Are you allowed to say what show it is?
Yeah. You got to tell us what show.
It's called The Circle. It started.
My daughter watches that. She'll be excited. I'll tell her.
Yeah. So we have Lee, aka River, was his person on The Circle from season 2, and turns out he is a big fan of the Marvel shows and stuff like that. So we're gonna have him on to chat and talk about The Circle, play some Circle-esque games for our YouTube channel. It's gonna be fun.
Okay. Well, certainly sounds like a good time. You are the king of cross promotion, so good work there, getting that in. Before we get into the slate, something very important we have to discuss, and that is a DM that we all received from someone who we all love, Devin. We love him. We respect him. But Cheese, did you catch what Devin said today when he was trying to make a Top Gun reference and failed?
I have no comment.
Oh, so bad. Devin, I love you. I really do. But Devin was unaware that negative Ghost Rider, the pattern is full, comes from Top Gun. And I just couldn't have been more offended and disgusted. It was awful.
One of my writers saw it yesterday. He said it's absolutely mind-blowing and amazing. And he's going to have a review up tomorrow.
I mean, it's going to be great, but first we need to get Devin to sit down and watch the original so that he can get ready, for the real deal. Anyways, that disappointment aside, it has been a good day and it will continue to be a good day. We got this slate we're going to break down. This is free. The thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of folks that are watching, enjoying this for free, thanks to our wonderful sponsor, that is Fanduel. If you haven't done so, sign up with the Fanduel Sportsbook if you're in a legal sports betting state. New users get a risk-free bet up to $1,000. Fanduel Sportsbook users take advantage of that. They get their bonus after their first time bet. Also, big weekend coming up. Lineup HQ, MLB Lineup HQ, which is it is the tool. Cheese, is it fair to say it is like the quintessential RotoGrinders tool?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's our moneymaker. It is our prized possession. And this weekend, we're letting you check it out for free. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. 3 full days of Lineup HQ. You're going to test drive it, and it's going to be like test driving a Lamborghini. You're like, ooh, I want me one of these.
Yeah, except regular sized people can fit.
Yeah,
and
right.
use Lineup HQ. Like,
Yeah,
you won't
it's
be
not tiny.
smushed at all. Yeah,
Yeah,
you can
it's
just sit
right.
in a normal sized chair and use it.
Spacious. Yeah, it's like a spacious Lamborghini. You guys are gonna love it. So get pumped, get excited for that. All right,
I gotta
that's
say too, it makes me so happy to open up the YouTube chat to look, and the first thing I see is let's get a Spidey bomb. So we got 55 people watching. If we get up to 25 likes on YouTube, Spidey's got us. He's got a nice home run for us today. So that warmed my heart to just open up the chat and bam, that was the first thing I see.
asking for Spidey bombs already. They should be asking for cheese Iceman bombs as
just plain old Iceman bombs, batting 1,000.
Batting 1,000 on Iceman bombs. If you feel like you want to give one, you can. If you feel like you should hold off, you can.
I feel like we need a slate where someone's definitely going to hit a home run.
Right. You don't want to ruin that. Yeah.
Save that for the night slate. Cheese is on again.
Right. All right, guys. A couple quick things to mention in weather. Just in general, in this short slate that's coming up now, there's no weather concerns. Tonight, there are a few games I'm watching, but it's just stupid to try to pretend like forecast models are going to nail it this far out. Like, it's just not going to happen. So Cincy, Atlanta, Chicago, I'm going to be watching all of those games for a chance for showers and storms. But until I get to see actual radar and see where the storms are, I don't have anything to add really there. Geez, anything you care about there, or no, we're going to focus on the slate at hand?
Yeah, we can wait till there will be a crunch time closer to those. So we can wait for weather on those.
Cool. Well, we've dilly-dallied. We've had some shenanigans, some good times, and now it's time to get to the real meat and potatoes. Cheese, you want to start talking about the slate, or you just want to go into pitchers?
Yeah, we'll just go into pitchers. I mean, it's only 4 games, so everything sort of coalesces as it will. I guess the first thing I want to say is
coalesces was nice, by the way.
Thank you. You're very welcome for that.
We're coalescing between the shenanigans and the slate. It's going to be a good day.
Yeah, it is. There's essentially no salary cap. Like on DraftKings, you can't even spend the salary if you want to, for the most part. FanDuel, there's not a pitcher at 10K. Like, you don't need a bunch of expensive hitters. Like, this all kind of makes the cheap pitching just irrelevant because it's not good anyway. Like on FanDuel, I wouldn't even moderately consider Ashby or Fetty for any reason at all. Even if you had 1,000 lineups, I wouldn't even bother with it. Robbie Ray is the chalk. He'll be like wildly chalky on DraftKings, like 75% chalky. FanDuel, I think it'll be pretty well split with Ray and Darvish up top. And then Urias, Blackburn kind of below that. But I don't, even with salary not mattering, I'm not really on board with Urias and Blackburn being more expensive than Ray and Darvish, given that Ray and Darvish are just a little bit better anyway. The reason Ray is chalk is because of the matchup, and his strikeout ability is better than all these other guys. Like, he's never quite going to be able to qualify as good chalk unless he gets back to what he was doing last year, but he's still very good. And to me, it is good chalk. Like,
on a slate like this where we don't have 15 games of great choices.
Yeah. He's just enough better than everybody else. And the matchup is enough better than everyone else. I think you just play Robbie Ray. You should make a couple lineups if you're mulch-entering where you play some Oakland bats and don't play Robbie Ray, but he's chalk for a reason. I like him. And on DraftKings, it's just, you can play Ray Darvish together in almost every lineup and get whatever you want. Urias, Blackburn, and to a lesser extent, Jake Junis are like fine. They should all be fine. It wouldn't be shocking in any way if Urias and Blackburn outscore Ray and Darvish, but like by a couple of points. And I just don't think you really need to mess with it personally.
Yeah. Okay. That sounds good. TJ, let's get your pitcher takes. I am intrigued, of course, on those top options, but also I want to know about this pirate fella, Blackburn, and if you have any interest, because I really like his name and I want to play him.
I unfortunately don't have much to add. Cheese nailed it on both sides. However, regarding our pirate captain at sea here, Blackburn, what I like about him is he never used to be a guy who would I'm assuming you've seen Pirates of the Caribbean.
Of course.
And so it seems like every movie there's a new fastest ship on the ocean, and it's wild, but Blackburn used to be riding on one of those just regular slow ships the government was using.
Or
He
a canoe
upgraded to
almost.
a canoe almost. He upgraded to the Black Pearl.
Yep. I see what you're
this
doing.
year he did.
Yeah.
And he picked up some velocity behind his sails. And with that extra velocity came some extra strikeout upside. And so in tournaments, I definitely think you can roll with him on either sites if you're trying to get different. But the top options for sure are Robbie Ray and Yu Darvish. And I agree with Cheese that I don't think if you're playing lots of lineups, I definitely don't hate mixing in a few Oakland lineups without Ray. But Blackburn is definitely only a tournament option, but I do think he's an interesting tournament option, especially like no one is going to be playing him on FanDuel where he's priced up above Yu Darvish and Robbie Ray. And it's a small slate. Anything could happen. So he's interesting, but only if you're playing quite a few lineups.
Great. Hey, before we get to bats, we're going to talk stacks. I wanted to clear the air between us about an awkward moment we had at the end of last show. You were bringing up a Marvel character, this Marvel character, and I thought you were talking about Johnny Cage from Mortal Kombat.
Oh, we were talking Luke Cage.
Luke Cage, that's what it was. So you said something about Luke Cage, and my mind went to Johnny Cage from Mortal Kombat. So then I started spelling off Mortal Kombat lines for no good reason. But I just want to let you know, that's where we got our wires crossed there.
Oh, that's funny.
Does it feel a little better now that you at least know what I was talking about?
Yeah.
Okay.
I figured I had kind of put two and two together, so I did. It didn't cross my mind again after the show.
No, it did mine. After I saw it, I was like, I'm an idiot. But okay. Hey, nobody's here for my idiocy. They're here for your takes. So let's talk about some of the stacks that you plan on playing today.
All right. So I think the Dodgers kind of are far and away the top option, and they will be chalky. But like I say on most shows, you go to the back half of the lineup and all of a sudden you're not getting near the same amount of ownership there. Gavin Lux, Edwin Rios, Chris Taylor, Max Muncy, they're all very interesting and aren't going to pick up the same amount of ownership as the Freddie Freemans or the Trey Turners at the top. But the Dodgers are the top offense on the slate. Then after that, it kind of splits into a tier 2 for me. They're a tier 1 by themselves. And then San Fran, Seattle, San Diego, the Mets are kind of all my interesting tournament stacks I'm looking at after that. The second one for me would probably be the Giants, followed by the Padres, then the Mets. And Seattle's kind of my differentiated one in tournaments just because they've been hitting the ball very, very well lately.
Okay. Cheese.
So yeah, Dodgers chalk. I am like so wildly under the field on the Dodgers, and I don't feel great about it. It's not that I don't think they're the likely team to score the most runs. It's just the way their lineup goes, and even more so today. Betts is out, Bellinger's out, Will Smith is out. It's so spread out. I don't even know they could score 12 runs and not even be DFS relevant. I don't love them. I really don't. I have way more Giants and Mets. And I have as much Padres and Mariners. I even have Nationals and Brewers. That's every team on the slate. If you throw in a couple A stacks. But to me, other than playing a fair amount of Max Muncy, just because second base, you kind of need something. I'm happy being way, way under the field on the Dodgers.
Okay. Do you have a favorite? If it's not the Dodgers, I'm sorry.
Giants.
The Giants. Okay. Yeah. All right. Let's go position by position. Start us off with a little catcher talk, Cheese.
So, FanDuel, it's really stacking only. And even then, I'm not sure you end up on one of these catchers. On DraftKings, where you need one, you don't have to spend on one. Austin Barnes is on the Dodgers, but I don't know. Austin Barnes. I like Joey Bart and Austin Nola the best personally.
TJ?
Same guys on DK. I don't think you're playing any of them on FanDuel. If you're trying to get a lineup in without Ray, I think Betancourt is interesting, batting cleanup for the A's, but yeah, it's a pretty gross position on DK.
All right, take us to first.
Yeah, so on first base, you have Freddie Freeman. He's going to be the chalk. And the interesting thing with him is if you can just get up $300 more on FanDuel to Pete Alonso, you're getting somebody with the same upside that probably a quarter of the ownership. So he's somebody who's very interesting. If you want to pay down, you have Edwin Rios as well, first base and third base eligible, but I think those are your top options at first on FanDuel. A tournament option I don't mind as well as Luke Voigt for the Padres. If I was playing a few more lineups, I'm only playing the one main one on FanDuel today. But if I was playing a few more, he'd be the next guy I'd be looking to on FanDuel. On DK, your option is your top guy is still Freddie Freeman. You can play Darren Ruff at first base here as well as outfield, and Wilmer Flores as well are kind of your cheap 3K options, or all the way down to Luke Voigt. But it's Freeman, it's Alonso, it's the two San Francisco Giants, and it's Voigt.
Okay, Cheese first.
Yeah, like Freeman's the very obvious guy, but even not accounting for the ownership, I just like Alonso better. Yeah, give me Alonso as a spend up. By all means, play a little bit of Rios. This is the kind of slate you're going to have to leave some salary if you're concerned about being different. Like if you want to stack the Dodgers, do a Rios instead of Freeman and just leave the money. Don't spend it anywhere. There's no problem with that. I also like Rowdy Tellez and Josh Bell as just kind of random dudes who could hit a home run.
Okay, take us to second.
Yeah, so this is the spot I am, especially on DraftKings, playing a lot of Max Muncy just because there's not much else here. FanDuel makes it easier, as per usual, second base, just like you add in Trey Turner, you add in Chris Taylor, you add in Wilmer Flores and Ty France and Gavin Lux. Again, like 72 Dodgers that play second base, apparently. I do think this is the one spot other than Ty France on FanDuel where I lean to just play the Dodger.
Okay. TJ? Second?
Yeah, I'm already a little bit higher on the Dodgers, so that's where I'm in the same boat. It's one of these many Dodgers who play second base for me. Wilmer Flores is another guy I like there. You can play him on second on FanDuel, but it's definitely going to be a very Dodgers heavy position for me today.
Third base.
Over on DraftKings, that's where I have pulled up right now. You have Flores again. He's first and third on DK. You have him and Evan Longoria, $100 apart. I prefer slightly Wilmer Flores personally. But if you're paying up, one of my favorite pay up options on the slate today is Manny Machado. And I think that's somebody you're probably trying to get into your lineups. It'll be a bit easier on FanDuel where you can play a utility position. But Manny Machado is definitely my top option there. You also have Justin Turner at 3K on FanDuel, who's batting third now. He was falling down in the lineup a little bit. He's finally pushed back up. I think he's okay, but I definitely think you're trying to get to Machado here.
Okay. Cheese third.
Yeah. So this is one, unless you're playing Muncy at third for some reason on DraftKings, which I don't recommend. Like, to me, Machado has the biggest edge over the position of any position. And I mean, I do think he'll be popular-ish, but not as much as he should be based on where he stands relative to the position. I do like getting the Giants guys in the Giants stack. I kind of like Suarez, but really Machado is probably my highest owned player on the slate.
I think it's a short. Cheese.
So Trey Turner, Francisco Lindor, and nothing. Like, these guys are just way ahead of the field. This is probably the biggest Dodgers chalk is with Trey Turner, because salary doesn't exist. Like, it's no issue to pay $6K on DraftKings and $4K on FanDuel. It's just not hard at all. I do like him. Of course I like him, but just with this whole Dodgers thing, like, if he doesn't hit a home run, I don't know that I care if he goes 2 for 4 with a couple of runs and an RBI. Like, that might be enough, but I don't know. I like Lindor a little better with the ownership gap. But if I'm playing the Dodgers a one-off other than Muncy, it's definitely Turner, just because of how weak the position gets after them.
Okay. Turner, Lindor, and TJ.
Tyro Estrada. That would be my one if I'm trying to get a little bit different. I like the Giants stack quite a bit. He's batting fifth today, and that's not usually somewhere you can get him. And he's not going to pick up near as much ownerships as the Darren Ruffs, the Mike Yastrzemskis, and the Wilmer Floreses. So I like Tyro Estrada quite a bit, but Cheese is absolutely right. It's Trey Turner and Francisco Lindor up top. I don't mind Suarez in tournaments, but that's really going to be it at the position for me.
Okay. Outfield. What do you got? What do you like?
Outfield's not as strong as we've been used to seeing it lately. I think the mid-tier is probably where you're looking. The Darren Ruffs, I really liked Jesse Winker as a one-off option in tournaments against Blackburn. Same with, or in a mini stack with Julio Rodriguez. He's just been absolutely smacking the ball lately, but this position isn't as strong as we've usually been seeing it. You do have Juan Soto and Christian Yelich up top. I wouldn't fault you for going there, but usually on this one today, I'm really just filling out my stack. So whether that be with Chris Taylor, Darren Ruff, Jock Peterson, Mike Yastrzemski, these guys, or maybe a Brandon Nimmo in a Met stack, stuff like this, Jerkson Profar, Will Myers, in my San Diego stacks. But to me, this isn't my position. I'm looking at a ton for one-offs other than maybe somebody like a Jesse Winker. I'm really just filling out my stacks. Okay.
Geez, outfield.
Yeah, this is one of the only slates you ever see where none of the best hitters are in the outfield. I mean, guy like Alonso, Freeman, Machado, Trey Turner, those guys are way better than anything in the outfield. Like Soto and Yelich are fine, but they're not, neither of them have ideal matchups, and they're not like the classic spend ups. I mean, this is not like what we're going to have tonight when we see, Judge, Harper, Ohtani, Trout, et cetera. Like we just don't have those guys. And so I agree. You're pretty much filling in your stack in the outfield, which is, the opposite of the usual build. But you take what the slate gives you. If you're playing the Mets, you play Nimmo and Marte. If you're playing the Giants, you play Jock and Ruff and Yaz. And, I think that the Seattle outfield is okay. You're mostly playing for a bullpen game later, you hope. But there's not a single thing to just get thrilled about in the outfield. So I think you feel it last.
Okay. You're playing one stack. Jesus, the Giants for you. I already know the answer. Playing one stack to win it all. For you, it's the Giants. TJ, you sticking with the Dodgers?
I would go the Giants just because even though I think the Dodgers will score more runs, everyone's playing the Dodgers today, so it's a lot tougher to win it all. So if I'm playing in a small field contest, very even payout, yeah, I'm loading up on Dodgers and I don't care. But if I'm trying to win a big tournament, it's the Giants.
Okay. Now's the time when we take the questions. But despite the fact we have hundreds of thousands of people watching, haven't been getting in a lot of questions. TJ,
we'll take Pirate questions as well. Not baseball team. Pirate.
3 likes away from the
Pirates.
Spidey Bone.
How many?
3.
Oh, 3. We
maybe I should go like my own show. Let me see.
Right. Yeah. Hang on. I'm going to add a like.
Oh, so we'll take baseball questions, pirate questions, reality TV questions.
We will. Yep.
All these things.
How does Devin not know Top Gun line questions? Those are acceptable as well. Any questions? And if we don't get any questions, we're just going to leave you. And I'm serious. We're just going to be, all right, well, we've given you all the information. We're going to go now. I'm going to pull up the YouTube here because all I've got up is the RG Discord. And everyone there in the RG Discord is so smart. They don't have questions. They just think, all right, you told us everything we need. We're done here.
All right. We've crushed the likes amount we needed. We've hit over 30 now. So we're going to get it up there. This feels a little obvious, but due to the nature of the position, this player is not getting played near as much as he should be. And I think he's arguably the most likely to hit a home run today. My top play might be Machado, but he's picking up a little bit more ownership. And so Spidey told me, even though I wanted Machado, he said Pete Alonso is the guy. Nobody's playing him. Cheese likes him. This is a guy with a ton of power. And Pete Alonso's hitting a homer today.
Okay, excellent. Let's see. And Cheese, you had mentioned you were a fan. You liked him over Freddie Freeman.
Over Freeman, yeah. Machado and Alonso are the 2 top plays on the slate, period, regardless of any salary, ownership, position, anything.
Okay. Let's see if there's some questions. Mike says, hey, if I'm playing a 20 max with terrible payout structure, is Fetty in your player pool? And I imagine that is a dude named Fetty, not just Freddie, and he forgot the R.
So he's the guy going against the Dodgers. He honestly, no, he's not. Like, it's not crazy to think that he could be he's respectable-ish in real life. Personally, I can't see any reason to play him. You don't need the salary. You have better pitchers that are easy to afford. So, I mean, you do what you want to do, of course. But personally, I have about 30 or 40 lineups. I have 0. If I had 150, I would definitely still have 0.
Yeah. But it's one of the,
if you're really trying,
you'd have
if you're
0.
trying to get off the board, if you play Urias or Blackburn, it's off the board enough.
Yeah. It's just one of those things where, like, even if he has a high end outcome, you're just like, meh.
Yes, like, it didn't really help you, probably.
Right. What did that do? Great. I had more money, but I already had too much money. What is it really? Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Kevin says, hey, TJ, am I crazy? TJ? I played a Seattle stack.
Nope. That's not crazy at all. Anytime Oakland is playing in a ballpark that isn't Oakland, I'm interested in kind of stacking against them, just because a lot of their pitchers' numbers are deflated by that park. But even though I like Blackburn, Seattle's just been crushing the ball lately, so I don't mind that at all.
Joe says, what do we call a Dave Potts homer call? Is it a cheese bomb, a cheese ball, a Fremunda bomb? Cheese, what do you call it? I kind of like the cheese ball.
Oh, I like Fremunda bomb.
I don't even know what that means.
The lactose runs.
Yeah, they are. Well, that's terrible. Any weather concerns tonight? Yes, but not in this slate. There's 3 games that I'm watching off the top of my head. I believe it was Cincy, Atlanta, and Chicago. And I don't know I think they're probably all going to be fine, but we need to look at radar beforehand. Irrelevant question, says Derek. Why is Buxton still 6K? Geez, should he be more than that?
No, he means why is he still so he started off real hot and then he got hurt and he came back and he was good and then he's kind of cooled off. And it seems like he doesn't quite belong with Judge, Harper, Trout.
Right.
And he is hitting 211 and he strikes out more. Like, the thing is, the first thing is DK's pricing algorithm is not paying attention to anything. Like, nothing matters to anything as to what somebody's priced on DK. That's the first reason.
Right. Yeah.
The second of all, it's his upside, like his talent, his hard hit rate, his barrels are as good as all those guys, as Judge, Harper, Stanton, Acuna, whoever. Like, he is that good, pure talent, but not quite. When you factor in the strikeouts and the likely where the batting average probably is, he probably shouldn't be 6K. Yeah. Like, I think he would fit better as like a 5K guy. Okay. But the fact that he's like, his batting average stinks doesn't change the fact that he hits the ball like Stanton. So yeah. I don't think it's crazy, but
and then when he gets on base, he can steal bases like Trey Turner.
Yeah. Like, he really is that talented. But that pricing algorithm does not really move around a lot, and it would be reasonable if they dropped him more to the 5K range for sure.
Yeah. Okay. That's it. We did have any home run calls. TJ, you had a home run call. It was with your Spidey bomb. Pete Alonso. There you go. Geez, you are withholding.
Oh, well, so, I mean, the obvious ones, Alonso Machado. If you want to, off the board ish, I would go Rowdy Tellez.
Okay. There you go. Getting rowdy. With that, we've answered all the questions. We gave all the plays. You guys ready to get out of here?
So much. Yeah. I got to decide if I'm having second lunch or a snack, and then we'll have another show, and then it'll be dinner. Like, I know. And then, so yeah, I'm ready to figure out what I'm going to go eat.
Yeah. I've got some.
If weather permits today, Cheese, am I crazy for eating the chalk in my single entry playing Luis Castillo? Crazy? No. It's another. I assume you're talking FanDuel where he's priced down. He's only on the FanDuel slate. Like, he's really. Yes. Like, I'm still a little concerned with the number. Like, the velocity's still not back. Like, his swinging strikes and strikeouts are like not just at a career low. They're like at like Zach Greinke levels. Not quite, but they're bad. I don't know. I like the matchup and the price, but I'm not sure that he's okay yet. Like, I need to see it. He might get back there today. Like, his velocity crept up like a little bit more last start, that maybe this is the night he shows up healthy.
In a single entry, personally, I wouldn't do it.
Is this Cincinnati?
Yeah.
Ugh. I was hoping you weren't going to say there was a pitcher we wanted there. All right. Well, we'll see.
He's really cheap on FanDuel for his long-term skill set and the matchup.
But
he's probably going to be upwards of 40 to 50% owned in single entries. And
as chalk, I think he's terrible.
Have fun
chalk.
today, Roth.
That's the thing. I think he's
awful.
If no one was playing him, I would be very interested. But as chalk, I think it's horrendous. Personally.
I mean, as chalk in bad weather, all right.
Yeah. He could only play 2 innings. Like there's that, because you could get a thunderstorm that could.
Or because of the 4 home runs he gives up.
Or, yeah, right. 2 innings. Also possible. All right. We're going to get out of here. I got some chicken tortilla soup. Cheese, you ever have that before?
I don't even understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
I know what a chicken tortilla is, and I know what soup is, but I don't understand what you're saying.
I believe that's what it's called, chicken tortilla soup. It's a Texas thing, and it's basically like a chicken tortilla soupified. Soupified. And
you let me know how that works out.
I will. I'm looking forward to it. We're going to get on out of here, though, for Cheese, for TJ, for Spidey, and for everybody working hard behind the scenes, our wonderful production crew. Guys, we appreciate you. We love you. And we will catch you tomorrow. You have been crushed.
Tonight.
Good night.